Ham. Do 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 do. Swat. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ham.
What's going on YouTube? EarthP0w3R here, bringing you another narrated match. Myself versus Dante Johnson today. Dante's using the Kalima control with some new stuff from Invasion Earth, and I'm using Haven, Ramp, Forcive control, using a bunch of cards from Invasion Earth as well. Just trying to test out some of the new tech cards we got, like Vile Malvictus, Cassiopeia, Almighty Colossus, and Dante's using some cool cards like Panic and Disorder, Malvictus as well, and just some other fun toys that Kalima got for this format. So you're gonna see how that match goes. For those of you who were listening to the beginning, that was a new intro. Shoutouts to CVH and Gorby on the track, and hope you guys enjoyed that. It was definitely fun to make. I'll be using that one and then the old intro kind of interspersed. So let me know what you guys think of that one, and if you have any ideas for intro music, shoot it to us, and we'll go from there. I've been trying to mess around with some intro stuff and maybe change it up a little bit, maybe get a new video in there, I don't know. But yeah. So the early turns for these two control decks, I mean, neither of us really want to play our early game stuff, like we run blockers and stuff like that, but it's not really that good against opposing decks. I get the early lead with Reap and Sow. Dante did get to go first, and he chose to go first. I don't think he just had the hand to support going second, and maybe he just didn't have the discard, so it was just better just to be on the turn play. At this point, he could have Veilstalker, which is what I'm fearing, but he actually just has the Screechy Scared Orbital, pretty much forcing me to either get rid of it or get Medusa the next turn. I'm pretty much expecting it. I get the turn 6 Ramnoth after the Reap and Sow, so I'm able to set that up, and I get to 8 mana now. And I'm trying to just gear up and go to 10 so I can start dropping Havens and other stuff. So I am able to mesmerize the Medusa out of his hand. He reveals Mark and Kalima. And he's only at 6 mana, so I'm not too worried about the Mark yet. And I feel like I can Crystal Memory and just kind of search for either Squilla Scourge or just more hand discards so that I can interrupt that Mark into Kalima before it even happens. He draws next turn and gets Terror Pit, doesn't want to play the pit to sacrifice the potential to drop Kalima the next turn. And a lot of things have to go right for Dante at this point. I'm already at 10 mana. I can't discard his hand, otherwise he'll just be ruined for the next turn. And if he draws a multi-civ, that's even worse. I do have the Spire Puppet though, and I'm able to randomly discard, and I hit the Kalima. So now the best he can do is Mark next turn, and it won't even destroy my Ramnoth. So, or I could just keep Kipu for the power. He does get some of the random discard though, is able to drop the Veilstalker and discard the Haven out of my hand. Yeah, what he doesn't know is that I had the Almighty Colossus though in hand. It was either Almighty or Haven, and I'm able to battle that and just kind of go in. I get kind of greedy here, and I think it'll show in these next couple turns. I decided to go ahead and double break. I could have just broken all of his shields, but I decided just to double break so I could go in with Colossus the next turn. I knew he had the Mark, and that's where my mistake was. So knowing that he has the Mark of Kalima, I just kind of go in, and if I gave him the Kalima, that would be terrible. And there it is. So he goes ahead and Kalimas. I go ahead and keep the Almighty so that I can at least triple break him next turn. And I'm hoping now I can just top deck some good stuff to just kind of come at him with. And sadly, I don't top deck that well. Top deck a Mesmerize, and I'm able to discard the last card in his hand and then triple break with Almighty. So now here's the worst thing. He does get Panic and Disorder. I guess technically he has to choose something to tap, so he would have had to choose Almighty, so that was probably a misplay on my part. And on his part, not realizing that he had to target the Almighty with the Panic and Disorder. So I just kind of missed that trigger there, and he just discards the last card in my hand, which happened to be a Sprout, so nothing too big there. But he does have the Ripper Reaper next turn to kind of drop, kill his Screeching, and then destroy my Almighty. And Almighty's trigger doesn't activate because he didn't target my Almighty. He goes ahead and attacks with Kalima, reanimates his own, or thinks about reanimating his own Kalima, decides to get the Medusa instead. He is only at 8 mana, so getting Kalima back wouldn't be too great. And he hits 3 blasts, which is great. So I go ahead and activate Panic and Disorder to randomly discard a card in his hand, and I wind up hitting the Medusa that he got back. And then Crystal Memory to search what I think was Haven? Haven or Andromeda. It might have been Andromeda. I think that would be the better choice here. And then, yep. Oh, nope, Squilly. And I top deck the other Squillis, so not good. I'm hoping that I could just drop Squillis and then swing for game the next turn, barring he top deck anything, but he does top deck the Mark of Kalima. And just bad things for me. But my top deck continued to be great as I top deck Andromeda. And now that his creatures can attack after the Squillis, he goes in with Scavenging to get back something. What I think might be Kalima at this point. No, I don't. I think he's at 9 mana now, so he can definitely get back. Or no, he's still at 8, so he gets back Dracothane to sort of set something up. And he hits Crystal Memory, so I go ahead and search for Andromeda to get that back. I drop the Andromeda. All of a sudden, I'm back to 5 shields, and that Dracothane's looking pretty sloppy next turn. And I do have the cast to follow it up, so just a lot of good top decks there. A really good Crystal Memory when I needed it with the Scavenging hit, and kind of leads to my game win there after a pretty bad play, double breaking there with Ramnoth getting greedy. So managed to take game 1 with Haven Rampy control thing. Go ahead and shuffle up. Shoutouts to EarthP0w3R, awesome sponsor. Stay tuned for more FWUPs. We will be getting some more content, kind of going over some of the other products that EarthP0w3R has to offer us, and maybe even go over these mats here. The mats you're seeing there, that Dracothane mat, very hot. They also have an Infernus one. I'm sure you've seen it on the channel. I don't know if I recorded any matches with that one or not, but EarthP0w3R came out with 2 mats. You can definitely go check them out online at EarthP0w3R.com. Their website is in the description down below, so definitely go check them out. Another slow start from both decks. Again, both of our early games not really meant to battle one another. It's really just this blocker game. We basically just want to get to our discard and start messing with each other's hands. Dante starts out with a lot of multi-civs this game, but has the Spire Puppet on turn 4 to start picking away at my hand. And he winds up hitting my Spire Puppet, which I was going to come at him with the next turn. So, kind of saves himself there so that I don't really have a turn 4 play. I just go ahead and put down Squillis to get the water mana. And Dante decides to start going in. Don't know how much of a mistake this might lead to be. It definitely, it helps fill my hand. Like, he gave me the Tendril Grass there that I'm able to set up for green mana with and play the Reap and Sow. And I mean, I guess if he forces like a Terra Pit or like a Bone Blade or something like that, it's not the worst thing. Like, he's just forcing me to kill this floater, but he's just giving me a ton of options to hit him with. And now that I'm at going to 7 mana, like, things just aren't going to go well. Like, I'm going to have so much of a lead on him here, and it's going to start to show that, like, I go Crystal Memory here, and I think I actually grab the Full Metal Lemon, because I think I've got a hand of, like, double Haven and a cast right now. So, I just kind of want to continue my ramp. Like, I would have gotten Ramnoth, but that would have been, like, a turn late. That's what I really wanted to play this turn. Just sort of like a thing to revenge his Spire Puppet, or, if not revenge, just start getting the mana ramp going. But I wound up memorying for Lemon so that I can play Lemon, and it kind of serves the multi-purpose of stopping him from breaking all of my shields, and then letting me also get the mana if he decides to do something crazy. So he does play Rip Reaper to hit my Lemon and his own Spire Puppet, and I believe he's at 6 or 7 mana now. And I go ahead and just go to 9 and pass turn. Like I said, I've got Double Haven, Cassiopeia, and I might even have Squillis at this point. And I think what I grab is Almighty. It's either Almighty or Andromeda, because I'm starting to get in that position again to where, like, crap, he's actually is beating me down and I'm not getting too many relevant blasts here. So the memories are helping, but not the way I want them to. I don't know if he goes to 8 here. He does. He goes to 8 and plays Mark of Kalima to hit my Haven. So the deck doing what it's supposed to. I mean, killing the hexproof guys and not really letting them put up too much of a fight and starting to cause a pain in my neck. So I do tap 9 there for Andro, and I go ahead and mesmerize the last card in his hand, which is Kalima. So which he did get back with the scavenging. So once again, he attacks with scavenging to get back Kalima, forcing me to either discard it again or just not have a way to deal with it. I start to get to a lot of mana here. I think by the end of this, I'm at like 16 or 17 mana. I go ahead and tap 7 to get back to summon the Kivu to get back Lemon, and then tap 3 for Lemon, and go ahead and attack with Andro there to banish his scavenging to stop all his reanimate stuff. I think Dante's going to 10 mana this turn, and drops Kalima. And I'm like, crap, I thought you were at 8 mana, but guess I'm wrong. So Kalima there, and then breaks my final shield again, but he hits another memory, so I go digging for the Andro to sort of save me for yet another turn if he doesn't have removal. And I've got a lot going on in my hand now at this point, so I'm just trying to like find a way to stabilize. I think what I decide to do here is I've been holding this Cassiopeia for a long time, so instead of just summoning the Andro, and if he has removal losing, I decide to set up for Cass to hold down his field, and then I can drop Andro the following turn and hit him with the Cassiopeia and banish the Rip Reaper, and maybe even find a way to deal with Kalima. Like, I could just drop Haven the next turn and deal with Kalima. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. But then he drops Targusher, so I'm like, maybe Andro is the right move. I can just go ahead and drop Andro, so that way I don't have to lose Cass next turn. And then, or Cass or Haven, one or the other. Like, I really don't want to lose either of those right now. I'm trying to set up for an endgame. So I just go ahead and drop the Andro, root trap the Kalima, and banish the Rip Reaper with King Neptus. And kind of force him into an awkward position of whether he really wants to get rid of Targusher for my Neptus. I think the final card I'm holding is Squillace. So I'm trying to go for the end game here and just gonna try to take it. So he top decks a card. I don't know what it is. I can't remember if he winds up holding it or not. Some deliberation here. You got to think this is sped up ×2, so we're definitely thinking about our moves at this point. It's turned into quite the chess match. He does go for the Terra Pit. Terra Pit's the Cassiopeia, which was just kind of awkward. I guess he doesn't want to take the triple break. I mean, the end game is bad if I'm able to get the triple break with the Hexproof guy and then Squillace and Hexproof to kind of end it. So just decides to go ahead and go in and force me to attack into his Targusher now, which would then force the tap on one of my other guys. So a decent play, making things just more awkward for me. I go ahead and Kivu back the Haven and get the mana, so I'm able to drop the Haven, and I have Kraken in hand, so when I draw the card I can drop Kraken with Haven as well. So I decide against attacking his Targusher. I feel like I can just leave it on board here. I've got Haven, I've got Kraken, 1 shield left. I'm not too worried about it. He does top deck the discard and is able to hit the Storm Spark. Luckily not my Squillace, so I still have my end game ready. And then he starts getting funny and trying to like break all my stuff. He knows that I'm about to drop Squillace and just end it. So I go ahead and Terra Pit the Spire and drop the Squillace. Going for the double with Andro, going with the triple with Haven, And I've got Hexproof Neptus, so I don't think anything in the deck can hit the Neptus, and Neptus swings for game. So, that's the match. Hope you enjoyed. Haven Control taking the 2-0 over Kalima. Kind of the upset. Kalima is technically, I mean, on paper it's built to be the Monarch killer and just kind of like beat the Monarch decks. So, shoutouts to Kalima being that, but sadly wasn't able to overcome all the Haven control-like things that were going on there. And maybe that was just on Dante's part of just trying to get aggressive and go for the game, which did put me on tilt a little bit, but I was able to come back from it. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Check out the social links below, the Facebook, the Twitter, all that fun stuff. Definitely go check out ultrapro.com, check out ARG. CVH wrote an awesome article about Bottle of Wishes that you guys should definitely go check out and read. That link will be down below, so definitely check that out. It's an amazing read, and I highly recommend it. One of the best articles ARG's put out on their site in a very long time, if not the best article they put out on their site. And brought to you by your very own CVH. So shoutouts to that. We'll be doing our KMC review tomorrow, so stay on the lookout for that. That'll be up in the coming days. And then I've got another match as well, so stay on the lookout for all that stuff. And hopefully, guys, we'll see you next time. Peace.